I'm Harini Mohan. I welcome you to the math module. Math, the very name scares children. Is it that difficult? Is it not easy for children to do well in math? Why is it that most children get scared with math? Because math is full of abstract concepts. So what is it that we are going to see starting today are few of the methods that we can bring about in class which will make math interesting for children and they will understand it better. Even our SLD children will find it very easy to do math once we follow these methods. Why do children get scared of math? As I told you earlier, math is full of abstract concepts. So how am I going to make the children understand these abstract concepts? By using a lot of manipulatives. Now, apart from that, as far as math is concerned, there are two segments to it. One is the language for math and another one is the concept and the calculation part of it. We give a lot of input to children regarding the calculation part of it. We try our best to make the concepts interesting, whereas we don't emphasize much on the language aspect of mathematics. What is meant by this language aspect of mathematics? There are lots of words that we use in math that is very unique to math. By this I mean these are words that we don't otherwise use in our daily life. Words like units, tens, hundreds, find out the difference, all these are words which we normally don't use in everyday life, but when it comes to math, we give these words and immediately in the same class give them numbers to work on the concepts. Hence, it gets a little difficult because the vocab and the language part of it has not been internalized, or rather wouldn't have been internalized by the children. So, what we are going to see is, we are going to see how to actually give the language that is very important for working out math calculations and for understanding concepts. Apart from that, when we talk of math, we invariably talk of the 10 digits, like the fingers that we have. But math is not just about numbers starting from 0 to 9, but there are a lot of pre-math skills that they are supposed to have. What do I mean by saying a pre-skill or a pre-math skill? For anything and everything that we do, we need to have certain skills in place. Only when we have that skill in place would we be able to do the thing correctly. Just in case, if we go on a two-wheeler, the basic skill that we need to have is your balance. Just in case I don't have the basic balance of riding on a two-wheeler, what will happen? Can I go on a two-wheeler like a moped or a bike? I will only fall down. Same way, before we start introducing numbers to children, there are certain skills that we need to give. The first is identification of pattern and application of the same. A very important skill that each and every child has to have, because entire math is based on identification of pattern and application of the same. The next skill that they have to have is the skill of counting. The third and very important skill that they have to have is the skill of one-to-one correspondence, and finally ordering. These are the skills that they have to have before they actually are introduced to numbers. So, what is it that we can do to develop these skills in children? Let us use a few things that we have with us to make them get these skills. First skill that we need to develop in children is the skill of identification of patterns and application of the same. What is it that we can do? Use things maybe like paper cups and spoons. If you look at them, they are visually very different. So, you arrange it in a particular way. 2 cups, maybe 2 cups followed by 1 spoon, 2 cups followed by 1 spoon, and then give children a stack of cups and lots of spoons. Here, please remember, do not give explicit instructions like, hey, look here, there are 2 cups followed by 1 spoon, so arrange the same way. Okay, all that you need to do is give them a stack of cups and spoons, and the children need to look at the way it's been arranged and then replicate. So what happens when the children observes and identifies? They see, hey, this is the pattern that it is arranged in. That means we are developing the skill of identification of pattern, and the next the child is going to take and arrange the same way. This is where the skill of application falls into place. Next, what we are going to do is, we are going to develop the same skill of identification of pattern, but we are going to use things that look the same, but they differ in one particular property. Meaning, if you look at these two things, one is big, another one is small. That means they differ in the size. Okay. So what we are going to do, what we need to do is arrange one big followed by one small and another big one followed by another small one. Give them a big basket full of these. The child has to look at the pattern, identify that there is one big object followed by a small object, and hence the child has to arrange the same way. Here, when they look at it and when they observe, it's the skill of identification that is enhanced, and then when they put it the same way, it's the skill of application that sort of falls into place. Yeah. Now we are going to use these blocks. Okay, they might look the same as far as size is concerned, but there is a difference. They differ in color. So use blocks which are of the same size, but where they have different colors, and arrange it in a particular way. Maybe one orange followed by one black, one orange and one black. Again, put a few blocks of orange and black in a big bowl or a cup and give it to the children. They have to look into the way these have been arranged, realize that it is one orange followed by one black, and they need to pull it out and arrange the same way. Here, the children are further trained to look into the property on which there is a difference, and then they start applying the same and arranging the same way. Once you do all these activities, the children's skill of identification of pattern and application of the same will be enhanced and will develop, and hence they will be ready to look into the number patterns and other things once they start using numbers. The next skill that we need to develop in children is the skill of counting. Now, let us take blocks like this, and let's drop it let's make the children drop the blocks into the cup one after another. So what should the teacher do? The teacher should call out the number, and the child has to count so many blocks and put it inside the cup. For example, if the teacher says 1, the child picks up one block and then the child drops it inside the cup. If the teacher says 2, the child picks up 2 blocks and then drop it one after another, counting at the same time. Now, when the teacher says 3, the child picks up 3 blocks and drops it one after another inside the cup by counting 1, 2, 3. Once this is done, the child learns how to count using manipulatives. This is a very important skill because when it comes to addition later on, the child can use manipulatives to learn the basics of addition. The next skill that we need to give children is the one-to-one correspondence. Let us take manipulatives like these cups that we used earlier and the spoons. Let us see how to stack, or how it will look once we stack one over another. 1, 2, 3 and 4. There are 4 cups in all, and I place it on the table. Now let us take the spoons that we have over here. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Once we stack, we call the children and we ask them, are they the same? Are there the same number of things in both the stacks? And the child or the children should say yes, because here it's not how they look, but it is the number of things that we have used to stack up which matters more. Just in case if the child, or if a particular child says no, they are different, then you tell them 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 spoons here, and let us see how many cups are here. 1, 2, 3 and 4. There are 4 cups. That means there are equal number of things in both the stacks. That means they are the same. Once we do this, the child will learn that he can't estimate by just looking at it, but has to actually count to say whether they are the same or not. Doing these activities will help the children to develop the pre-skills that are very, very essential for doing math. After we do these pre-skills, we need to start introducing numbers. In the next session, we will see how to introduce the basic numbers to children.